This video brought to you in part by Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. This exciting and heartwarming coming-of-age Gen X novel is available now. Check the link for more info. You know, my interest and passion in collecting tabletop arcade replica toys didn't just magically manifest one day in Walmart when I saw some My Arcade product. This was something that has been percolating since the 80s when Coleco first got the license to produce their own line of tabletop arcade toys. You might remember we took a look at the Miss Pac-Man Coleco tabletop that I picked up on a vacation a few years ago. It didn't work, but I got it for like 25 bucks and it was a great addition to my collection. I even have a Donkey Kong already, and it sits back here on my shelf behind me on my set. It's a little worse for wear. It could use some restoration, but it does work. But being a lover of these Coleco toys, and Donkey Kong in particular, I'm always kind of on the lookout for a better condition version of a collectible that I have. Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I am John, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thank you so much for the click, and if you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're looking at. Yeah, I have that Donkey Kong. It's like right here over my shoulder. You can see it there. It's kind of always behind me, but it's a treasured possession. It's one of those nice pieces I love to have because it's from the era, from growing up in as a Generation Xer in the 80s. And recently, though, you might know my daughter works as a manager at a local video game store. And what walked in the door is something that she ended up buying for me for Christmas is this Coleco Donkey Kong. Not only better condition than the one I have, but in the box? Okay, I've had this sitting on the shelf and scheduled to do since December, and I'm not waiting a second longer. Let's take a look inside this thing. If you don't like talking about the boxes of classic toys like this, then you might as well go watch a different video, because this is one of the cases where I think, for me, the box is almost as fascinating as the contents. Like, we see these toys all over the place, but you just don't see the boxes as much anymore. Well, let's get the toy out, and then I'm gonna spend a little time looking at all the cool detail of a box that I never got to hold before now. Now, I say this is complete. It's certainly as complete as one I'm ever likely to see and be able to afford. But so the foam is not in here. I mean, I guess there was foam, packaging foam, or maybe it was plastic. I don't know what was in here normally to keep it safe. But so the box is here, just some minor tears we'll look at. Here is our awesome Donkey Kong in way better condition than my other one that I had, of course. And down here, some instructions, which I will not be throwing away because this is part of the coolness. We're gonna look at these instructions too and spend a little bit of time on this. But now I want to talk, what's not in here, of course, is if there's any promotional material, like any posters or ads for Coleco. That didn't survive, but man, unless something is sealed, I think very often that stuff rarely survives. And you could probably find that on its own because it was in lots of different products. And now to the part that I kind of warned you was going to happen, which is me spending some time looking at the box, because this is, I think, what makes this one so special. It's one thing to find a completely sealed one. That would be great. Of course the box is going to be intact. But this one didn't even have any internal structure. The foam wasn't in there or anything. And still, it's remarkably good shape. I feel like maybe I'm getting this secondhand in 1985 or something. You know, it's not, it's that kind of decent condition. Plays, sounds, and scores like the real Donkey Kong arcade game. Does it, though? Does it? Look, it doesn't, but man, in the 80s, in 81, 82, when this came out, it was close enough. It was the closest thing you had to playing Donkey Kong at home. Of course, this is still using that original kind of Donkey Kong design that was on the side art and the marquee and the bezels from the original game. Before the redesigned Donkey Kong gave him his red tie and his DK and all that stuff, but I love this original artwork. Now, of course, on the sides, both sides are the same. This one has a little bit of a rip down the side, so I'm going to flip over and I'll show you the good side, which is in much better shape. Two game variations. It's actually, they're mimicking two levels of Donkey Kong, both the ziggurat and the rivet. So you have the two boards, just like you have in the 2600 and some other conversions. So that's what they mean by two game variations. Arcade style joystick, check. Multicolor display, I mean, yeah, technically, legally, multicolor. And records best score, which it does. I was surprised by that. The top is just kind of more of the same, but the coolest really is what's going on the bottom of the box, where they use the instructions here effectively are showing you exactly what the game looks like using that LCD. Up here, Donkey Kong the Ape has stolen Mario's girlfriend and has taken her to the top of a steel fortress. Mario must save her. Use the joystick and jump button. Cool. And each of these little screenshots are great. Mario runs along the ramps to climb the ladders. Mario must jump over the barrels that the ape throws. Mario jumps for the hammer to score extra points. And in the second variation, which is just the rivets level, the ape and Mario's girlfriend appear at the top of a riveted skyscraper. You're removing the rivets. Yeah, Mario removes rivets and jumps over the gaps, outruns fireballs, and grabs bonus items. And when the game's over, the display shows your score and the best score achieved. I don't know what my Coleco proof of purchase would have gotten me, but we can see this was manufactured in 1982 by Coleco Industries, and Donkey Kong, of course, is copyrighted 1981 by Nintendo of America. Turning my attention now to this instruction manual. Yes, I know I'm notorious for throwing away instructions. Not going to happen here. This is, this is part of the cool part of this package, that it's all here. Model 2391, again, plays and sounds like, I love they say like Donkey Kong. It's not exactly like, so I guess you get a little bit of a pass. Yeah, inside, the obvious stuff. What is Donkey Kong like? Yeah, how do you turn it on? How do you insert the batteries? You're plugging their, they have a perma power. It plugs in and powers it without having to buy batteries. Here's how to play. Push the jump button. It outlines the screen of Donkey Kong here. What you're looking for, the safe zone. Look, this almost... Who bought this that didn't know how to play Donkey Kong? But I guess maybe it's just different enough that you need some instructions to get an idea of how to play Donkey Kong. It's even steps. Step 2, Step 3, Step 4. It talks about the hammer for points. The hammer doesn't even smash barrels. It's just a bonus to pick up in this case. You don't get to carry the hammer around and smash barrels or anything. And then after you finish the ziggurats, which they call the ramps, which it looks the same, they just change the layout a little bit, and now you have the rivets to take in and out. And then here's some bonus. You got a purse and an umbrella, and the hammer is here. Same thing, bonus items, and how do you navigate the world of Donkey Kong on this LCD? Here's how. It just explains how it continues to cycle through, how you can keep doing stuff. It just basically service, limited warranty, stuff like that. Yeah, and look, a remarkable shape. There's a little blemish on the back here, a little bit of damage. We're sat in the bottom of the box, actually, and got a little adhesive on it, but hey, I'm not super mad about that. That's just a notice of warranty, so yay me for the instructions that go with this cool Donkey Kong cabinet. So yes, of course, box and instructions, but yes, there eventually will be dinosaurs on the dinosaur tour. There is actually a Donkey Kong game to be had here as well, and in phenomenal condition, particularly, I'm not even going to say particularly considering its age. It's just in phenomenal condition in general. If this were a year old even, I would say this is in pretty darn good shape for the shape it's in. Let's just quickly take a beauty tour of the condition of this vintage cabinet. So the side art here, this sticker looking phenomenal, not peeling or anything. Color is still vibrant. Same story over here on the left-hand side. Look at this one up on top. Look, a tiny little peeling corner. Very minor. I could tape that down or glue it down if I wanted to, but even if I made a replacement decal, I don't think it's going to look much better than this thing from 40 plus years ago. You can take a peek up under this little shaded hood and you can see this bezel, still great. The screen has some minuscule scratching on it. You have to really look at it just right under the light. I think you can see little tiny scratches there. Very slight. Nothing that you can actually really see when you're playing the game, honestly. This heavy control deck, still not even peeling around the corners at all. What a little blemish there. I can't feel it. I don't know if I can get that cleaned off or not. It's very minor, but the joystick, you might look at this not having seen one and go, hey, there's a screw showing. Something's broken. Nope. That's how they looked. You could always see the screw down at the bottom of that joystick. I don't know why they didn't put a cap in it or anything. And over here is just the single button, start game and jump. One button to get it all done and a power on off. And down here on the bottom, the little rubbery feet have seen better days. Those could be replaced, I guess, to make it a little more solid. But anybody who has ever picked up one of these used, the first thing they're going to ask you is, what's the condition of the battery box? What's it like? Is it all corroded? Is it a wreck? Well, I'm happy to report that this one, look at that. I mean, it doesn't get, there's no corrosion, no rusting, nothing. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better than, plus the spring sounds cool. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that, man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, I think I have tap danced around it long enough. It's time to throw 4 C-cell batteries in the bottom of this cool thing, power it on, and play me some 1982 Donkey Kong from Coleco. Real quickly, before we give this cool thing a test drive, I want to once more ask you if you'll please consider supporting GenXGrownUp by heading over to patreon.com/GenXGrownUp. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support an independent content creator that you enjoy. You might think $1 a month is no big deal and it's not even a drop in the bucket. Let me show you. This is a recent video that I did, and it's average for us, and we made about $8 on it. Even if I could generate 10 of those a month, you can do the math. You can see that's not nearly enough to support even a single person doing independent content creation. Look in yourself and see if that's something that you enjoy enough to support. If that's too much, maybe click that thanks button below for a one-time contribution, or even just share this out to your friends. That will help us as well, and it's totally free. All right, let's get back to the table. I'm ready to play some Donkey Kong. There it is in all its 1982 glory. Oh man, first of all, if my voice is a little hollow, forgive me. I had to put the microphone a little down closer to the table because the speaker on this is rear firing and it's kind of quiet. And also a little bit of flicker here. I had to adjust the shutter speed of my camera, and this is the closest I could get it digitally to keep it from just being a crazy seizure-inducing kind of display. But I think it's pretty stable. So let's give it a play and see. I remember it being unforgiving, but I'm ready to try it. Here we go. Yeah, a little quiet, but here we go. Burp, 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 burp. And of course, I'm playing through a camera, so that'll be my excuse when I screw up regularly. That jump right before something hits you. Whoa, ooh, that's close. Get up there. Almost to the top. Gotta wait for my opening. Got it. I'm up. Oh, then the rivets. Interestingly, you can jump the rivets and not destroy them. So that's actually a strategy sometimes. Just jump it, and then you can walk back over it. There's a bonus. This fireball is coming after me. So he's stuck down there, kind of. So I can jump this. Let's get this one. There's a bonus. Ooh, go, run, run, run. I find that the girders or ziggurat level, whatever you want to call it, pretty easy. It's that rivets level is just so unusual and unforgiving. Let's come up here and grab this. There's a bonus. It's surprising how much Donkey Kongness is captured here. You know, it's like old Atari games. You know, I'm mapping my memory of Donkey Kong onto these little LCD light up bulbs, and in my mind, I'm Mario. I get that's how it was in '82 when we got this, you know? I guess I'll jump down and jump over him. Oh, I'm not any good at it. Look, and when you finish, there's the best. So as long as you leave it on, the best score is saved. And I think if you just let it sit, it'll keep that score. Now I can restart, and as soon as it becomes my score again, that score goes to 0. You know, even though I didn't have one of these in my house, the nostalgia is definitely flooding back just from playing it at friends' houses. You know, so many people had these. And I want to say they were like $50 new. And that's 82 money. So what is that? $150 these days? I didn't do the math. We'll try one more time on this rivets level. I clearly need some Donkey Kong LCD practice. Jump over, get my bonus. Oh, he's coming down. That's not great. You know, while he's over there, I fell in the hole. What a great experience. Just, I mean, from the box to the instructions to the decals to now this gorgeous screen and wonderful gameplay and vibrant LCD. I mean, it's just tip-top condition. I couldn't ask for a better copy for myself of this great Coleco Donkey Kong. Talk about a fantastic Christmas gift and a heck of a way to upgrade a piece that I have in my collection. I'll be adding this now to my new permanent collection. I'll put it on the set behind me. And the other one, the one that was kind of in need of repair, I'm just a temporary custodian. I will put that back out in the world for someone who doesn't have one at all. That's how collecting is, and I'm happy to have been an owner of it for a short time until I got this even better one added to my collection. I'll throw some links here and here of some other Coleco or tabletop toys we have reviewed. I certainly hope, though, you found something to enjoy in this video, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye-bye.